Hi guys, this is Amisha Grasty again. I'm here to show you how to set up your HydraLister account. The setup process is actually very quick and easy. By now you should have already set up your Skugrid account and gotten your eBay application IDs, and pretty much that's all that's needed to set up your HydraLister account. So with that said, we're going to head on over to the settings tab of HydraLister, and that's going to be settings US if you're selling on the US platform, or settings UK if you're selling on the UK platform of eBay. So you click settings US. Okay, so what you do here when you come in, the first thing you're going to do is set your minimum quantity. I suggest mimicking the settings that you had in Skugrid, and if you don't remember what you had in Skugrid, go ahead and open up another tab in your browser, and you can go back and take a look at those settings to see what you had listed there. So I know that my default quantity in Skugrid was 2, so I'm going to set my default listing quantity to 2. My listing duration, I prefer the good till canceled listings, but you can choose any of these durations. Your location, you can put your city here, your zip code, and your country, or you can do like I do and put multiple locations, United States or whatever country you're from. There's a drop down here. The PayPal email address that is used to process your eBay orders. Your dispatch time, this is handling time in the amount of days, so select your default handling time. Now this may change on a case-by-case basis, and you can go back and edit your listings after they're published, because some items may have a longer handling time or shorter handling time. So I set my default to 3 days handling. Returns accepted, yes. Returns accepted within X amount of days, so you choose 14 days, 30 days, or 60 days. Who pays the return shipping? If you want the buyer to pay the return shipping, select buyer. If you want to cover the return shipping, you select seller. Select whether or not it's going to be money back or exchange, or money back and replacement. Select if there is a restocking fee. You can only use the restocking fee option anyway if you have eBay's hassle-free returns turned on. If not, the only way to really have a restocking fee is to set that in your disclaimers in your listing, but it's nothing that eBay actually enforces unless you have eBay hassle-free returns. Sales tax, if you apply sales tax to your items upon sale, or if you use the sales tax table. If you use the sales tax table, the sales tax table would have been defined in eBay under your account settings. So then you would select yes here. If you do not have that turned on, then select no. And a little word of advice on collecting sales tax: you'd want to check with an accountant in your area or tax attorney, but in order to collect sales tax, you need to be a licensed reseller in your state in the United States. And you would have to have a reselling permit. They call it different things in different states. But anyways, that gives you the right to not have to pay tax up front for items that are being bought in your state. And when they sell, if they're being shipped to someone in your state, then you can collect the sales tax from that buyer, and then you in turn remit that to the state. But if you've not gone through that process with your state, then I would not put any sales tax in here, and I would not be collecting any sales tax for orders. Collecting sales tax when you're not authorized to do so can get you into trouble, so just wanted to advise you of that. HydraLister pulls forward from the item information the weights and dimensions of the package and things like that if it has been entered on the product detail page for the item. If it's not, you can set some defaults here that will go into each listing, or you can leave them blank. If you participate in eBay's global shipping program, then you select yes here. If not, select no. When the listings are done, if the item is ineligible for global shipping based on the category, even if you have yes here, it's not going to be marked as global shipping when the item is listed. So that's taken care of for you. For standard shipping, the options are a little bit different here than they are on the eBay website. So for standard, you'll want to choose UPS ground as your default. Your shipping service cost, if you charge anything for shipping as a default, enter it here, or put zeros and select free shipping, yes, if that's what you choose to provide. If you need to add an additional shipping service, you can do that by clicking this link. The final price formula, this is to calculate your listing price. So again, this works just like Skugrid, so I would keep this at whatever variables you entered in Skugrid, I would enter them here, whatever tax rate you set, profit margin, fixed minimum margin. Again, that's the default or the minimum amount of money you want to collect on one of your cheaper items. So set that here, your PayPal fees, eBay fees, and it automatically adjusts the formula for you down here. And you can test that formula by entering an item price, and then it will tell you how much it would list that item for based off of these settings. Okay? The other thing that you'd want to do is, if you have an existing HTML template that you like to use for your listings, you can paste that code in this box. I would delete anything that's out in this box, and then you can right click and paste that HTML template in here. If you don't have a template and want to use one that HydraLister has created for you, they have two, and they are blue or green, but the format's the same. And if you select one of these, it will automatically insert the HTML code for that listing. And what you would want to do after that is click switch to editor, and that's going to show you, I'm going to drag this box open a little bit more. It's about as wide as it's going to go. Okay, in the HTML editor, it's going to show you the template based on your screen size and resolution. This may look different because the template is mobile responsive. So right now it's a little smushed in, but this little placeholder right here is for the main gallery image for the item. When you do your listing, that will appear in the middle of the listing, and then this right here, it actually goes on a sidebar of the listing, but I know in this view it actually looks really small. So what you'll want to do is scroll up a bit and look at these little merge tags. These are merge tags. You can see here, this one, it's 2 curly brackets, and then it has the word title, and then 2 closing curly brackets. So you'll want to copy that code and put it wherever you want the title to appear in your listing. So for me, I wanted the title to appear above the main gallery image. Okay, and then you have blocks for item description, and you have some shipping terms and agreements, returns, and about us. You can customize any of the language that's in here and make it your own if you need to, and it will stick and be applied to all of your future listings. So, and then what you'll want to do is grab the merge codes for the feature bullets, because that will insert the bullets for the bullet points for your item, the quick little description, and then the long description would be the product description. So you position these merge tags wherever you want to within your template. Okay. And finally, if you need to go back to the HTML code because you want to edit something directly, you can hit show source, and that'll take you back. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to click this button here. It says Skugrid key, get here. You'll click that button. It will take you to Skugrid. Assuming you're logged in. If you're not logged in, it's going to ask you to log in. And where you'd want to go if you had to log in is you want to make sure you're on the remote import tab under settings. So once you're here on the remote import tab, all you have to do is hit generate new remote key. You're going to hit generate new. It's going to insert a code right here, and then you highlight and copy that code and click save settings. You'll go back to your HydraLister account and paste in that code, and then you can go back to your Skugrid And all of these keys that you use to create your Skugrid account, you can use for your HydraLister application. The application ID, certificate ID, the developer key, authentication token, etc. So basically you'll be copying these codes. So this is application ID. I would copy that. And then you find the appropriate box for the application code. That would be application ID right here, this little box. So you paste that in here. Authentication code, if you remember, that was a really long code. That's this one. So you just have to match them up. So just copy and paste. And then once you're done copying and pasting the authentication code first, the application ID, developer ID, and then certificate ID, export compare items is your next option. You want to hit yes. That way it automatically, when the item is listed and it's exported into Skugrid, it's going to automatically insert the compare item link, which basically in Skugrid is your eBay item URL. So you want to have that, otherwise on your grid or your table it's not going to really show you a estimated profit calculation or have anything to really compare to on your display. It'll still be repriced, but it won't actually show you that information in the display. So go ahead and hit yes there and then save your settings, and then you're done. So your HydraLister setup is done. From there, I would come in here. You should, change your password from the system generated password. Just enter a new password and hit save. If you want to promote HydraLister, which I don't see why you wouldn't, because they pay commissions 5 levels deep. And every dropshipper in the community needs this tool. So if you click the referrals tab, your link for HydraLister will be right here, and you can promote that link. When you're ready to list, you hit new batch, and you can insert either full product URLs from any of the supported stores or Amazon ASINs, and you enter 1 per line, and you just hit submit or add new batch. You pick which country you want to list in, USA or UK, and you hit add new batch. It will add your items to a queue. If you want to list a single item, all you do is insert the ASIN or the product URL, select the country, and hit add new item. Once you do that, you'll get a screen. Actually, I'll do one for you really quick. So let's see. I'm going to go to Overstock and grab an item. It's nice that so many dogs are barking outside. Okay, so I'm just going to pick an item that I want to list. So let's just say this, for example. Okay, so all I have to do is grab the URL for the product, and I can come to HydraLister and paste that in here. And this, again, this process right here that I'm showing you right now is only if you want to list items individually one by one. I think batch listing is pretty self-explanatory. You would just add the item URLs here. You would paste them in and enter them, 1 per line. And so your next item you would enter here and then press enter and keep putting them in. And the same goes with ASINs, and then you would just hit add new batch. So that's pretty self-explanatory. What I want to show you is how to do a single item if you prefer to do all of your editing on the front end instead of after the items have been listed. So you paste in the product URL or the ASIN number, and you select the country and you hit add new item, manual. going to take a few seconds to pull the product information forward. Okay. Based on your settings in HydraLister, a lot of the information is already pre-populated, like the listing duration we set in our settings. It was good till cancel. The condition is new. You can change that here if you need to. The category, it's going to show a number here, but what you can do to check the category and make sure that it's correct is hit this button that says check category, and it's going to take you to this site it shows you that the category number is this, and it's in home and garden, yard, garden, outdoor living, patio and garden furniture, lounges, which is the correct category for my item, so I don't have to worry about changing it. The weights for the item, I can see if Overstock doesn't list the product weights a lot of the time, so I can see if they have it here. Oh, there it is, 73 pounds, and it arrives in 2 cartons. That might be something interesting that I need to note for my customers, that this item will ship in 2 separate boxes. I'll put here that the weight is 73 pounds. You can put the dimensions of the box if you want. For this item in particular, because it's 73 pounds, I know that it's not going to be eligible for global shipping, so I can select no. Global shipping, actually, I think the weight limit is 51 or 55 pounds, something like that. The shipping service, I can check with the source and see what type of shipping they offer for this item. And I can see here, these are standard shipping times, so I know that it's not going freight or anything like that I need to be aware of. And what I'll do, because this is a large furniture item, I will go ahead and set the shipping to UPS ground. And my shipping cost is 0, free shipping yes. Okay, and my template is here, and it has already pulled forward my product information and images. So what I can do is hit switch to editor, and this gives me a preview of what my listing will look like, and I can make changes right here. So as you can see, because I had used those merge fields to put my title above the main image, this is where my title is going, and this is where my item information goes, product description and feature bullets. They're going right here, and my disclaimers, shipping disclaimers, returns, etc. are listed down here. So what I would do if I'm choosing to list manually one item at a time, then I would edit this information right here. I'd take out the item ID number, let's see, what am I going to call this? Outdoor Chase Lounge. I can call it Outdoor Chase Lounge. So I'll do this Outdoor Chase Lounge. This Outdoor Chase Lounge frame. Add my keyword in here a few times. I will also, because I noticed in the listing it said that the item ships in multiple boxes, I will go ahead and let the buyer know that. So note, this item will ship in 2 separate boxes. Okay, I don't do too much editing to start off, except for taking out any random stuff that's in here. Like this, it says, this is also available, click here. I'm going to take that out of my listing, and I throw in my keywords a few times if I'm choosing to do this as far as editing the listing ahead of time. I usually don't. I usually just batch list and then go back and revise later. So I've made my changes. Now I'll go ahead and create my title. Typically I create titles off the top of my head, so this is going to be Outdoor Chase Lounge, green sunbrella fabric patio furniture. And as you can see, as I'm typing, there is a character count over here. So once you reach 80, you want to stop. Outdoor patio furniture, chair, seat, cushion, and that's pretty good. Good, that's enough. You also have ability to check keyword density. So I can say outdoor chase lounge and hit OK. I don't know. I guess it's not working. But so if you wanted to do that, you could. The price here, it's showing that the source is listing this item at $341.99, and in order for me to get the profit that I want at my 12.5% profit margin, it would list for me at $437.05. I'm going to go ahead and round that to 99 cents if I wanted to. If not, Skugrid, by the time it modified my price, it would have modified my rounding as well. Sales tax, use sales tax table for me. Quantity of 2, that's fine. Location is already filled in. PayPal email address is already filled in. Brand, MPN, UPC, ISBN. I typically will leave them out. If they're blank here, that's fine. The system will automatically put does not apply in the box so that your listing can go through. Because this is a large furniture item, I put my dispatch handling time as 5 days. Returns accepted, yes. 30 days. Within 30 days, you choose whatever it is your normal policy, and who pays the shipping and the refund option, and if there's a restocking fee. Now, here's the fun part. You can pick a different main gallery picture by selecting Set as Main Picture. So let's just say I want to set this one as the main picture. I hit Set as Main Picture. Now that moves it up, and then you can rename it using your keywords. See, right now, by default, it pulls in the title for the picture that your source had. So you can put in your keywords, outdoor chase lounge, and now image has been renamed. I can rename this one, outdoor chase lounge green, and let's name this one outdoor chase lounge green patio furniture. Okay, so that one's been named. As those pop-ups pop up, don't select the checkbox that says prevent these dialogues from popping up anymore. Those dialogues are necessary to tell you that you have made your necessary change. If you turn them off, then you won't be able to go back and edit these names or anything like that that requires a pop-up. You won't be able to do that anymore unless you clear your browser history. So now that all that's done, I'm going to hit list item. Okay, and then when the item is listed, if it's a single listing, it's going to show you that the item has been listed. That's if you do single items, they get listed right away. If you do batch edits, they it might take 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes for everything to go through and start going because they get sent to a queue. But if you do a single item, it gets listed right away. It gives you the eBay item ID, and it tells you that it will be exported to Skugrid within 15 minutes. If you get these warnings, it says no product found, product listing details. All this means is that the eBay catalog did not have anything matching this item, and that's okay. A majority of your items aren't going to be in the eBay catalog, so that's fine. If you want to check on the status of your item getting exported to HydraLister, just click Item List. Okay, and what you'll see is that here's the link to the source. So again, I can come here if my item sells. I can come here, I can just click this, I can go right to my source and order the item. And this is a link to the eBay item. If it's listed on eBay already, it's going to have the item ID here, and it's a link to that item. and the status will say listed. If it is pending in Skugrid, meaning it has not been fully listed on Skugrid yet, then it's going to show you the exported status to Skugrid as pending. You also have ability to delete items from here, but this does not like pull down your listings or anything. It just deletes them from this item list. Some other things to note. If an item was not able to be parsed, that means that item was not able to be listed for whatever reason. It could be that the product information from the source's site didn't have certain item specifics included that were required for that category, so the item couldn't be listed, and then it is still showed pending for Skugrid. And since this item was never listed for me, I'm just going to go ahead and hit delete. You also have ability to search this grid by keyword, item ID, whatever have you, if you didn't feel like scrolling. Some other warnings that I want to show you is if you get this error code, you see that this item has not been listed on eBay. And the reason it has not been listed on eBay is because this item, HydraLister is telling me that it's a found banned brand. So it's a banned brand, meaning it's on eBay's Vero list, and that means that the company or brand has identified and asked eBay to not let anybody else list their items on eBay. They want to be the exclusive seller, and they don't want to deal with resellers. So what will happen is if you violate this person's intellectual property rights or tangible property rights, trademark names or anything like that, your listings will get pulled down. You'll get a violation by eBay. And you know, as a dropshipper, I know many of you probably didn't have time to go and check the Vero list before listing every item. And what HydraLister does is it checks beforehand, before the item can be listed. It checks it for you. So that's a great thing. And it is say pending here. So because it has not gone to Skugrid because it was never listed on eBay. So I can actually delete this item as well because it's not listed. The other important thing that HydraLister will do for you is it will check to make sure that you have not already listed the same item, since eBay has a duplicate policy, duplicate listing policy. Like for example, if I go now and I hit single item and I try to list this item, I'm going to take the same URL from this item and put it back in the HydraLister, and I will show you what happens if I try to list something that has already been listed with HydraLister. It's going to tell me that the item has already been listed. And this, you know, because you're going to be doing massive amounts of listings at one time, this helps to prevent you from listing the same duplicate item and getting those violations and those eBay listings taken down from eBay. This is all preventative and all done for you with HydraLister. So how exciting is that? Go back and check on my item list here. And you can see it says now the item was listed on eBay and the item has been exported to Skugrid. So what I can do is I can go to my items in Skugrid if I want to double check. And I can, Skugrid puts them in order of the upload. So if it's brand new, it's going to be at the end of your list, and for me, I've got to go about 7 pages deep, I believe, at this point. So trying to get there. Okay, now I'm going too far. Alright, so I'll scroll down to the bottom. I'm going to hit page 5 just to kind of get me closer. Or you could also search for the item by the eBay ID that's shown to you on your HydraLister item list tab. But I just wanted to show you. Oh, I'm actually 8 pages in now. So I'm going to go to the 8th page. And I'm going to go to the bottom. And right here you'll see it says Remote Import Hydra. It gives you the title of my item, my eBay item link, my price on eBay, my shipping on eBay, whether or not my item on eBay is in stock, my supplier link, their cost, and shipping, whether or not it's in stock. It gives me my estimated profit, and because I set my account to account for the 5% rewards that Overstock gives, that's also figured into this estimated profit amount. So yeah, my item is being tracked and everything. There's not a paused repricing, it's automatically turned on. So as soon as it's imported from HydraLister, like you saw, all I had to do was click one button to submit it, and it automatically submitted my listing to Skugrid to be tracked. The supplier link is already filled in. My compare item link, which is my eBay link to my item, is already filled in, and so is the eBay item ID. Repricing is not paused, and because this has a special formula for the store, that's already filled in. Yeah, so everything is done. You don't have to go back in here and edit these. I will say that you should still go back and revise some of your listings if you're doing a batch edit. Looking for things like shipping speed to be different, or it might require more time than your listing stated, and you should also look for variations, because the variation will need to be updated in Skugrid so that you're tracking the right thing. And that's pretty much about it. Let me know if you have any questions. In my next video in the series, I will be showing you how I revise a lot of my listings very quickly. Alright, until then.